If you've got a bunch of unwanted inventory that you've been sitting on for days, weeks, months, years, ship it to Fanatics Marketplace and let them do all the work. Just make sure when you ship it, you use the promotional code Cajun, all capital letters, C-A-J-U-N. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. And today I'm excited to get my good friend Josh Adams back on the channel. He is 90sauctions.com along with John. What's John's last name? Remind me.
John Linden. He's at Chicago SportsCARD Gems on Instagram.
Yeah, Josh is 90s Auctions. Josh is also Midwest Vintage Cards on Instagram, and John is Chicago SportsCARD Gems on Instagram. John is too bashful. John is shy. Josh is the polar opposite of that. Josh wanted to take over the channel, but I told him, no, you got to be a guest. You got to let me do my thing. So we're going to do a preview, Josh. We're going to do a preview of your 90sauctions.com that's ending this Sunday night. And I'll be honest with you, you got some bangers in here. There's a lot of cards that I'm looking at that are in this auction. A couple of them really stand out. We're going to take a look at some of those cards in Card Ladder. Have you ever heard of Card Ladder, Josh?
I think so. It's a data something aggregate, I believe.
We'll figure it out together. All right, Josh. So first things first, and we should probably do this at the end. We're gonna talk about 90sauctions.com. We'll talk a little bit about the history of 90sauctions.com. But I'm always bad at this. I don't want to forget. The website is literally 90s for 90s auctionsplural.com. So people out there, if you're not registered, Josh, does it cost anything to register to bid?
For you, it's about $25. Everybody else, it is
for the
free.
People watching, right?
For people watching, it's free. It's free.
Okay, fair. It costs nothing to register to bid. Josh, how do they register to bid? I've got screen share pulled up. I'm assuming it's up here with my account.
Go to my account, and if you haven't registered, there'll be a link, and you can fill out all the information. Comes to us, and then we approve it. We ask for 2 industry references. So if you put Cajun Cardboard on there, then obviously we'll.
That's one.
It. Yes.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's good enough for 2.
It's good enough for 2. That's what I was about to say. The same thing. Like Cajun is one, Cardboard is the other. That's 2 references. So you're good to go. So that's how you get registered to bid. Josh, what if people, after watching this video, if they say, you know what, Cajun, I trust you. This Josh guy seems like a good dude. He lives in Chicago. I want to consign some stuff to you guys. This is where you do that. There's a consign button up here at the top where my cursor is highlighted. It brings up the location in Chicago, and then it's got a phone number, which is presumably you or John.
Yeah, that's the main number. It usually goes to me.
That's the main number. It'll go to you. And then Josh90sauctions.com right underneath it. That's an email address. Either way, if you guys want to consign some stuff to 90sauctions.com, here's the thing, Josh. We got 61 cards we're about to look at, right?
Yes.
And while there's pros to Fanatics, there's pros to Golden, there's pros to REA and Heritage and this and that, and there's a million other places you can list your cards. You guys are 90s cards, and there's 61 cards. So if you want to be a big fish in a small pond, this might be the way. If you've got maybe not a Jordan, although we're about to see some banging Jordans. If you've got a super rare card, we're going to see some really rare 90s stuff that's not exactly run-of-the-mill stuff, Josh. Some of this stuff is stuff you never see, and 90s auctions would be a great place to put those kind of cards because it takes you 5 seconds to scroll top to bottom, right? So you're not trying to take over the world. You don't want 700 items in your auctions where things can get lost in the shuffle. You want to max out value for your sellers, for your consigners. And so 90s auctions might be a good, just watch the video. Let's watch today. Let's look at the preview and let people make their own decision. But this is how you get in touch with Josh.
Thanks. And John and I did a really good job curating this auction. A lot of the stuff was from the National that we picked up. So we're pretty excited about that. Most of the Jordans were from walk-ups at the National.
Are you excited the Nationals in Chicago the next 3 years in a row?
Beyond excited. I am very thrilled. Yeah, so I can't wait.
I live in Baton Rouge, and I'm excited. You live in Chicago, so I know you're excited to bounce up to Rosemont and knock it out. It's the same site, right? 3 years in a row, the exact same place, right? Which I thought was fine. It was a little confusing at first for Cajun people, but you kind of got me straight.
You're smart. You
kind of got me straight.
I'll pick you up next time. I'll get the limo for you at the airport.
Oh, that would be great. That'd be great.
Red carpet.
If it's a limo for me, it needs to be camouflage because I'm from Louisiana. Is that okay? Do you have that up there?
No problem.
All right, here we go, Josh. Let's talk about some of the cards. Like I said, there's 61 lots in this auction. I don't think I have it sorted. I haven't sorted by highest price, okay? You can sort it by lot number if you chose to, and that's how I figured out there was 61 detective work. I've got it sorted the highest price right now, which again, just to be very clear, this auction ends this Sunday night. So when you guys are checking Fanatics Weekly, when you're checking your eBay, go check 90sauctions.com to make sure none of these cards are running under comps and you can't snatch a big card. By the way, 25 Jordan cards, Josh. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think almost every one of those is a hierarchy card for what that's worth. I know the people that watch the channel love to hear the hierarchy cards are up for auction. I think there's a lot of great opportunities in this auction. We're going to look at those 25 Jordan cards in particular. I've got it sorted by highest price, but again, we got to remember this does not matter at all because all of the action takes place not even really in the last day. It really takes place in the last couple of hours.
Really, yeah. In the afternoon on Sunday is when most of the activity happens. Like 3, 4 o'clock on is when majority of the bidding will take place.
So this is your format. This is the main page right here. If we wanted to search just for Jordan, we could. If we wanted to search this auction, you have baseball, basketball, football. There's no hockey in this one, no soccer in this one.
No.
That's okay. So this is what you've got. It should add up to 61. I don't know if it does or doesn't. It should. Yeah, it does. Okay.
We're lawyers, not accountants. So,
That's right. We're lawyers, not accountants or mathematicians, so you can't expect us to add. So I've got it sorted by highest price. It shows you how many bids. It shows you what the opening bid is, and it shows you the statuses. Obviously, all the status is going to be open on all of them. When it closes Sunday night, it'll close. Josh, talk to me about your extended bidding process, because this is something that I know you wanted the people that are watching to understand a little bit better, and then we're going to start looking at the cards. Tell me how your extended bidding works, when the auction ends. Your deadline to get a bid in during the bid window is when?
So Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central and 10 o'clock Eastern, you have to have at least one qualifying bid in on any item you want. So, for example, the Golden Touch. If you want to bid on the Golden Touch after 9 o'clock, you have had to have bid on it sometime before 9 p.m. on Sunday. We're trying to get into the open-ended extended bidding without any requirements for that. The software we have right now doesn't handle that. We're trying to update it, and that we're still in the process of discussing that. But as for now, you need to have a qualifying bid before 9 p.m. on Sunday. Okay,
so the easiest thing, best advice I can give, it doesn't cost you anything. Go ahead and get registered. Go ahead and get a login and a password like I've got. Mine's expired for whatever reason. We'll talk through that after we get off. We'll get that freshened up. It's in there. It's like auto-save, but maybe I did something wrong. So go ahead, get registered, get approved to bid. That doesn't mean you have to bid and win, but it gives you the option to bid. The last thing you want to do is at the very last second be trying to bid on something that you see that might be running under comps. You think you're going to steal it, and then you're not eligible to bid, and you're out. So that's what we want to avoid. So go ahead and get that over with. Catch Josh or catch John at this address, at this email address on 90sauctions.com. Go up here, go to my account, go sign up, get registered. It costs nothing. Get that over with and out of the way. All right, let's talk about what the people came to see here. They want to see these cards, right? They want to see the cards, and this is going to be open. This is weird for me. I'm going to talk about other sports, Josh.
I know.
Talk about baseball and football. You're going to have to hold my hand through this, okay?
It's growth. I love it.
There's no vintage, so I can't only make so many mistakes because the vintage is where
I brought a friend for us for the.
Oh, you did? Oh, I know who you brought. You brought Newhouser. There he is.
Still have him. I got rid of most of my Leafs.
Is there any chance I'll see him in an upcoming? Well, he's 1890s, so he wouldn't be. He wouldn't be in the 1990s. There he is. That's how. That's my boy. That's my boy. All right, let's get back. All right, so I've got it sorted by highest price. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. Let's just do this. Let's do highest price, but let's do basketball only. Then we'll flip to baseball and football. Is that fair? All right, so 39 of the 61 are basketball. So basketball heavy. That's going to appeal to the people that watch my channel. Right now, I've got it sorted by lot number, but let's switch it to highest price. Again, not that it matters. A lot of these are just right at the beginning of the opening bid. Josh, obviously this stands out to me right away as a Jordan collector, as an owner of a copy of this card in a PSA slab as well. I can tell you right now, this is a Pop 2 card. This card's never sold at public auction ever in history. Ever, ever, ever. It looks like a fresh PSA slab. Am I crazy?
Yeah, no, it's fresh. It's a new one. Yeah.
Relatively fresh PSA slab. We've got the PSA pulled up here. I can prove it. This is the all-time card ladder sales data. There's not one dot on it. So that means it's never, ever, ever sold. Let's look at a PSA 8 just to get an idea of what kind of card we're looking for. This is to give you guys some sense of comfort that there's monsters available sometimes. Not every card, not all 61 are going to be monsters. Shout out to Roger Maris, right? 61. But shout out to the vintage Jordan big Jordan card, this serial number to 61, the Vintage Classic as well. 61's a lucky number, Josh. I have a good feeling about this auction.
Yeah, me too. No,
Okay.
it's
So PSA 8 last sold for $93,000. That was December 2023. I'll be quite honest with you. Card Ladder agrees. Jordan cards like this are way up since then.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm telling you, PSA 8 in December 2023, PSA 7 might be catching that number in this auction. So that's a really big auction. Congrats on getting that consignment first and foremost. So that's really the big headliner. If I had to guess, Josh, am I missing something? That's the monster, right? No. So that's sort of the foundational piece of this one.
That is the showstopper. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I love that. And that card in person is so great. It's got that like amoeba type background. It's awesome.
Yeah. It's the only one. It's the only Rubies I have. And that's why it's my favorite, because I own it. Right? You can't hype your own cards. What can you hype, Josh?
Exactly.
Okay, 9697 EX credentials, serial number to 499. This is a tough card. The issue with this one is the diamond cut at the top. But I'll be quite honest with you, ain't no diamond cutting on this one, Josh. That's very rare. That's very rare.
It's a nice looking 8. And it's got the new BGS slab. Still, the beginning of the credentials. I love that card because you hold up to the light, you can like kind of see through that blue acetate in the middle.
Yep.
$4.99. Yeah, that's a
very minuscule diamond cutting at the top. Like this is an exceptionally well cut top. I just looked at credentials that ended in the Fanatics weekly recap. This one looks significantly better than the one that I looked at that just sold. Serial number to 499, a true base parallel. This is a monster card. We've got this one. I told you I feigned ignorance on this. You said there's a legacy collection in there, serial number to 20. I'm like, what are you talking about? Legacy collections are serial number to 100 or 150, and you're like, not in 1999. Right. And that's where I become an idiot because Jordan, you didn't have a legacy. So tell me a little bit about this nasty shack right here.
So that's the 99. It's the Flair Showcase Legacy 2000 series. That's different than the ones we've known from 96, 97, 98. And these were all numbered to 20. A PSA 10 sold earlier in the year, but besides that, again, these are cards you don't see every day, not like commodity cards, we like to call them. And it's a great image of Shaq in his Lakers jersey. It's a really nice 9. The 10s have gotten, way out there.
What do you think about the PSA 10 premium, Josh? Talk to me. Just give me your honest thoughts. Don't hold anything back. Give me your honest thoughts. I'm serious, man. Like, it's serious. Like, as a Jordan collector, it's like I'm priced out of cards I didn't think I was going to get priced out of this quick.
Same. And for me, I have used to not paying for 10s. I would rather pay for an 8 or a 9 and then be able to buy more than one card.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like you put like 10 into a 10, but you can get 2 awesome cards for like maybe 6 and 4, 7 and 2, 5, 7 and 3, 5 and 5. So, but people really, they go for it because some of these cards are really condition sensitive. Like Behind the Glass, the 93 Behind the Glass is impossible. Stuff like that. So I get it. Skybox Rubies.
And look, Josh, for 2 years, I hyped the hell out of it. I was like, I want to collect Jordan stuff in PSA 10. I want to collect Jordan stuff in BGS 9.5. And then when the PSA 10 premium over a PSA 9, when it's like 12 to 1, 15 to 1, 20 to 1, 50 to 1. I did a video the other day. It was like 100 to 1. I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Who would not want 100 PSA 9s than one PSA 10? You could cross the 100 and hope for, a 10. It doesn't make any sense. It's a law of diminishing returns at some point. And so you got to adjust your attack. And 90s auction is a great place to go if you're adjusting your attack and you want, 4 hierarchy cards instead of 1 PSA 10. You're going to have some great options in here. Here's the Star Power Supreme, Josh, sticking with the Jordan. And look, this is usually the issue up here, and this is a very high def picture.
Yeah,
that's not bad. I've seen significantly worse. In fact, I've got a 9.5 that is significantly worse than this as far as the foil loss up there. This one looks really sharp, man. Usually that blue foil is what's missing, Josh.
Yeah, no, it's a very clean copy. You got this. A lot of these came from the same collector who, took care of these, and I think it's strong for an 8. I think it looks great. I mean, put that next to a 9. I don't know if I can tell a difference. I'm old though. My eyes. Yeah,
that's a really good 8. Yeah. We've got a round ball, Roy. Here is a 10. So if you're just like Cajun, shut the hell up. I want only PSA 10s. Right. We've got a round ball refractor, no coating right there. PSA 10. That's the card right there. It's not the same card, but that's an example on Card Ladder. 43 of those, Josh. That is not a lot. You're talking about a pretty rare refractor with pretty tough pack odds, no coating the way God intended it. You coating or no coating?
Coating. It came out of the pack with coating on it. Someone obviously
Altered? Well, what does
No.
the coding say, though, Josh? What does the coding say?
It says like remove, obviously.
Okay, so what should you do?
You should not remove it because it came like that. It was
Okay.
the way God intended. Out of the
We're gonna
pack.
have to have a separate video where you and I can talk about the pros and cons of coding and removing it. And hey, by the way, good luck grading that damn thing if you leave the coding on there. Good luck with that. Yeah, you're gonna do great.
Right. Yeah. Right.
PSA loves to give pins out for cards with coding.
And they can't see the top on. Right. Exactly.
That's right. Especially refractors. I really like to take the coating off. And again, I think the hobby is probably a legit 50-50. Look what this card's done, Josh. Over the last 1 year, it's sold 14 times. Wow. 1/3 of the whole population has sold over the last 12 months. And it doesn't matter. Usually we see cards when they come to market too much, what happens to the price? It goes down. Check this one out. That's a graph right there, man. Up 40% in 12 months, Josh. This is a big-time card. Y'all may try to set a record.
Records are meant to be broken, so we're all for it.
I'm not calling my shot, but there's a chance out there you could set a record on that one. So there's a Jordan Refractor PSA 10 that's a hierarchy card, and then we're talking about hot shots in a BGS 8.5. Here's one for you non-Jordan collectors out there. This is a pretty damn close to as good as it gets for Grant Hill. This is a tier 1, I would say, Grant Hill card, a top 20 for sure. Grant Hill card from the 90s, right?
Absolutely. I mean, also, you remember how hot he was when he came out of Duke?
Oh,
so popular.
He's one of my what if guys that I would, if I could take a time machine and go back. You got your Derrick Rose, you got your Greg Odens, you got your Grant Hill, your Reggie Lewis's. Even Sam Bowie, don't laugh. Even Sam Bowie might have been a phenomenal NBA player had he not got injured. You don't know that, right? And then in football, what's the one that comes to mind in football that got injured that you're like, oh my God, if only
Bo.
Bo.
Bo. Yeah.
Boz sucked when he was healthy. Bo Jackson. If there's one pro athlete, Grant Hill and Bo Jackson, those are my two dudes because I think Grant Hill's potentially a top 10 player of all time if he never has those ankle problems.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
No, he was special, dude. He was special. He was kind of a mix of Jordan and Pippen because he could guard like Pippen, but he kind of handled it maybe even a little bit more point forwardish than Pippen did for sure. You got the Bowman's Best Cuts Atomic Jordan. I just did a video on these Atomics. This one in particular is miserable. Die cut. We've got some serious 90s heat in here. Cut above is nasty, Josh. We've got a Rave serial number to 399. We got the Court Masters. We got a refractor with great coloring right here. This is a card a lot of people don't know anything about. Right. I've got this card, and I think the PSA is like 6 or 7. But talk to me about this card, Josh. What do you know about it?
So that is the 3D version. It's a wrapper redemption. So back in 91, you had to send in wrappers, and you could get one for the entire set. They had players for they had cards for every player. And obviously this is the most popular one. And it's awesome. Like if you can tell kind of it's raised, like an acetate kind of cutout is raised on the card.
Yeah, down here you can tell if you you see the shadow. It's really raised. Like it's really raised.
Half an inch. It's awesome.
Yeah. The slab, I sent mine in, and thank God PSA slabbed it because you never know. But PSA slabbed it. That slab is thicker than an ice cream sandwich. Right there, Josh.
And what's great is this is from 1991. When everyone associates that with just complete junk. They're still making 91 Fleer. You could send the wrappers in, and you would get this awesome card that I bet you most people didn't do it. I didn't.
I've got a bunch of wrappers over here. I'm going to send it in and see if they'll redeem it 32 years later. Do you think they will?
They should. I mean, it's a contract, right?
I'm sure they're sitting at their desk waiting for wrappers to come in to redeem.
There's like one guy in the basement, right? By the phone.
That's right. His name's Norm. Apparitions 9. I want to talk a little bit about this. There's an example copy pulled up. Josh, here's your copy. This is a card I recently I jumped from a PSA 8 into a PSA 9. PSA 10 is like otherworldly. It's very difficult for a mere mortal to obtain a PSA 10. The PSA 9 is done nothing in 2024 except break records. Okay. Right. So I'm looking at the Card Ladder sales data in June. 2,099 record, 2,145 record, 2,190 last sale in August, which is almost a little bit less than a month ago. This is all time. This is the all-time record. If we go into Apparitions, here's why. Guess how many 10s there are. There's your number.
Yeah, you can't get into. Right.
And we know who's got one of them, that jerk in New Jersey, right? Josh Dawson, probably. So he's got half the world's population. The other Josh, the fake Josh. And so 71 nines, what else are you going to do? That's all you can do. Guess what? There's only 2 9.5s.
Right.
Look at the gem rate. Look at the gem rate on that card, which is weird because the card's relatively sturdy. I don't feel like it's all that susceptible. It's weird.
Not that much foil on the edges that would cause, some.
That's it. I know it doesn't. I don't understand it, but 9's the best you can do. You've got a 9, so if anybody out there is looking to pick up about the best you can pick up, it's available in 90s auction ending this Sunday, September 15th. Josh, did I get that right? I think that's right.
Yep, 15th at 9 p.m. Central.
Another great meltdown copy, a great 8. This is a card that's in the hierarchy. A lot of people don't know about that, Josh. Serial number to 800. That's a PSA 9 copy. That's also a really high grade copy right there.
Yes.
This card right here is impossible. You know why? Because there's usually surface flex. This one looks looks really good.
It's clean. Yeah,
this is really clean. When that surface comes off, it looks like black dots, almost like a rat pooped on it is what it looks like. A little black, like
they're gross.
And they stand out. You cannot hide them. Like once it's flecked off and you've got that gap, it's all black and it's unbearable and you can't look past it. This one is damn clean, dude. This is a really good one. I'll be honest with you. This is a card that I'm probably going to bid on. So I probably should not have put it in this video. Maybe I'll edit this out. I don't own this card. I don't own this in any grade. If you can't use your channel to like promote
your own stuff, right?
In fact, how about this? Everybody watching, you are forbidden to bid on this card. I'd like to win it for the $250 opening bid. So please don't bid on that card. Just as a favor to me. Josh, I'm sorry for you.
It's all right.
Holding court Jordan refractor, a superscript Jordan from 99. All those weirdo serial number Jordan chasers like Stanley, some of those guys that try to collect every Jordan in the world, Josh. Dentists. You can't trust them, and they've got every low serial numbered obscure Jordan in the world.
Absolutely. This is it. Yep. It's 25.
Another 10. 10. So if you're a gem snob out there, there's another Jordan Frequent Flyer Club, PSA 10. All right, enough with the Jordans. We're going to bounce out of the Jordans. We're going to bounce out of the basketball. Wait, did I have another one? Yeah, okay. So now I want to get to baseball because there's a baseball card that caught my eye. And you know which one it is. Yeah, you know which one it's going to be. Tell me right now, Josh, give me your top 5 baseball players of all time. Let's take pitchers out of it, okay? So let's just say fielders, top 5
of all time. Ruth, Mays, Frank Thomas.
Stop. You're going to lose people. You're going to lose potential consignments if you show your absurd bias. What's next, Ron Sandberg?
Oh, God, no. I mean, you got to put Koufax in there, I think. He dominated. Christy
Mathewson. Take him out. He's a pitcher.
No pitchers. All right.
Fielders.
Ruth, Mary. I mean, Bonds is up there.
Bonds has got to be there.
Yeah.
Bonds has to be there. Think what you want. Put an asterisk on whatever you want.
Right.
Bonds statistically is right there with Ruth. He's right there with Garrick. He's right there with all those jokers.
I mean, he was good before he started juicing, too. That's the thing. He was a 40-40.
He was the first ballot Hall of Famer before.
He should be, yeah. And he saw all the home runs that McGuire and Sosa hit, and he's like, I want in on that. And, I mean, I think I went to a game, they walked him with the bases loaded intentionally.
I know.
It's crazy.
It happened more than once, for sure. I saw that happen many times.
Right. Right.
Man, it's crazy.
So an important thing about this card, 2 of them sold, not this copy, 2 other ones sold, and they had the same serial number. So this one is different. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. One of them was a replacement. This one's the real deal that we have. So
that's interesting. Mm-hmm. The last one to sell was the serial number 1 out of 50 PSA 8 on Fanatics less than a month ago, 11,700. That's a PSA 8. You got an 8.5 copy, which to me, with a 9.5 sub and a 9.5 on surface, that's what and what. Like you're 8.5 in PSA 8, that's what and what when you're talking about PMGs for sure.
Absolutely. Especially, PMGs, the foil on those are so susceptible to chipping that it's a very clean copy. And I think it's number 46, and it's a very, very nice presentation. Great surface, great corners, no peeling.
Tell me, I don't know much about baseball PMGs. Is 99 Metal Universe, because this resembles the 98 Metal Universe basketball.
Right. So, it came out right after that. So, yes, it's the same thing.
And it's the same sort of style, right? I mean, it's the same background, everything. It's just a baseball player.
Absolutely, yeah. It's got that metal, like the rivets to the top, like the MJ. And, baseball's got those. Got to find my Frank. I got a Frank here somewhere.
Do they have reds and greens, or is this where it started?
No, they don't. Well, they do. They had PMG championship baseball too.
That's right. That's right. Are these the two, the 99 that looks like the 98 for basketball, and then the championship? Those seem to be the two. There's other PMGs, but those seem to be the ones in baseball that people seek the most.
Yeah, and the PMG champs have taken off a lot in the past really 6 months.
Are they serial number to 50 also?
They are. They are. They're
Okay.
fantastic cards. The background's what makes them. You know, they got great backgrounds in the championships. So
These are big time. These are big time. So you're looking at a card that's going to push 5 figures, man. That's a big time Bonds card right there. If you ask me to rank them and you throw illicit drugs out, Bonds is number 1 for me. Babe Ruth's number 2. I don't know. Everybody loves to talk about Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr. and all this crap. I'm like, dude, go look at Bonds numbers again.
Head and shoulders above. I mean, Griffey was awesome, but head and shoulders above Griffey.
Yeah, that's not a comparison. Griffey is amazing, but that's not a comparison.
No.
Sticking with baseball, speaking of Griffey, we've got a beautiful 52 Chrome debut Griffey. That's serial numbered to 52 as well. It seems arbitrary.
Yeah, and then if you want, we'll go after that. But yeah, so that looks like the 52 top set, and they numbered those to like rookie card images. So that's supposed to be him as a kid, the kid, and it's awesome. And then we got the scripts. Go up a little, the superscript. Want to hit that one?
Yeah, superscript autograph with that Sharpie. Wow. Yeah. What's that serial number to?
It's 25. 25.
And I know there's a lot of huge Griffey autograph collectors out there.
That's not an auto. That's just the card. It's not auto.
That's just a script thing.
Yeah.
So it's a facsimile auto, but it is serial number 25.
Yeah, tough card. Sorry.
Josh, do you I showed you like I don't know anything about baseball. Seriously. I'm trying here. I know a lot about baseball. I just don't know anything about baseball cards. I guess that should be more specific. Do you feel a movement of people getting into 90s baseball more than ever? I feel like I'm seeing more people posting stuff on Instagram, 90s, the basketball crossover stuff. Like all I know is basketball, but I'm seeing the same cards for baseball players and football players being posted more common than maybe say 3, 4, 5 years ago. Josh, do you feel that a movement into the 90s?
Absolutely, because first of all, like a Rubies or a PMG in basketball, even for like maybe a second-tier Hall of Famer, they're expensive. You can get a second-tier Hall of Famer at PMG, like a Greg Maddux sold for $4,000. I mean, to me, that's a steal on a Greg Maddux PMG championship. Chipper Jones went for like $6,000. That's nothing, for Chipper Jones, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I think people they want a copy of that example of that set. And baseball, these are Hall of Famers not going anywhere. It's a great place to put your money if you're going to buy if you want PMGs. Same with Rubies and Essential Credentials. There's such that bleed over. Basketball causes the baseball and the football too to increase in price.
Do you think it's baseball collectors deciding to get into the 90s, or do you think it's basketball collectors who collect the 90s deciding to get into baseball? What do you think is causing more of the demand? Because we're seeing an increase in demand.
It's a good question. I think it's the baseball collectors.
You think it is?
They've always liked it, but also there are also a lot of baseball issues like this quantum leap that were not in basketball, and some other basketball issues that were not in baseball. There's like a lot of like refractor type cards. Destination Cooperstown. There's not one in this auction, but Destination Cooperstown is one of my favorite inserts. It's like a luggage tag, and we had a Griffey in an older auction. There's a Tony Gwynn. We've seen a lot of Tony Gwynn hype lately, and he was a pretty good hitter in the 90s. Maybe top
singles hitter, I think is what you mean. Pretty good singles hitter. Pretty good singles hitter.
If you wanted a single in the gap, he's the guy. It's good. Get on base. Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, that's baseball for you. We looked at that Bonds. The Bonds is the one that sticks out to me. But again, I don't know anything about baseball cards.
For sure.
You got a Mariano Rivera Platinum Medallion. I know what Platinum Medallion means. These are not serial number, Josh, but
that year was not. No.
Okay.
No, but one of the best closers in the 90s, hands down. That we're really excited about the two Griffies. The superscript and then the 52 gold is really a really nice looking card. Kenny Lofton in a Essential Credential.
I just want to say something right now. I did play fantasy baseball back in the late 90s. Kenny Lofton was the one you wanted.
He was every stolen base guy. That was a stolen base guy.
Not only was he an elite stolen base guy, but I think he popped off for about 20 home runs a couple of years. So it was a weird combination of runs, power, average. I mean, I know he was up in near the league leaders in batting. By the way, what's going on with batting average in the world of baseball? Why is it nothing? Like who hit 300? Nobody? Like what's the deal with that? What's going on with the average?
I know. Well, if you're on the White Sox, you're hitting nothing. But like most people can hit the ball. But I mean, Ohtani's having a great year. Bobby Witt Jr.'s having a great year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, but do you remember there used to be 30 guys that would hit 300 in Major League Baseball? Not anymore. It doesn't seem that way anymore.
Everyone's swinging at everything. There's no discipline on the plate anymore. There's
Earl Weaver, 3-run home run is how you win the games.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's look at some football cards, Josh. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go to your auction filters. I'm going to sort by football. Only 7. So this is the deal. This is kind of what I was talking about before. How nice would it be if you were the guy that consigned this Ray Lewis Platinum Medallion PSA 9? There's 7 football cards. So if somebody's coming on to 90s auctions to look at football cards, you only got 7 to look at, and one of them's your card. You've got to feel good about that as a consigner. Big fish, small pond.
That
but the one that really kind of stands out is Thurman Thomas. That's a masterpiece. I mean, I know what a masterpiece is. I don't know anything about football cards, but I know this has got to be one of Thurman Thomas's best cards in the world.
Got to be. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. It's a gem masterpiece. You know, what's the corollary in basketball for a Thurman Thomas?
A player like Allen Iverson?
Yeah. What's an Allen Iverson gem masterpiece go for?
I can't even imagine. 50 grand? I don't know. I'm guessing. Exactly. I have no idea.
Right. I mean, it goes probably, I think it would go for that much. You know, when his PMG goes for what, like 30 or 40?
30? Yeah. What am I saying? It might be, dude, it might be more than that. You get a couple deep pockets looking at that masterpiece 101 and they want to prove who's the man.
Right.
If you're an Iverson super collector, you got to have it. If you're a Thurman Thomas super collector, here's the deal. Look, I don't know anything about football cards. I've said that 100 times already just on this show, but running backs are under-collected. I don't want to use the word undervalued, underappreciated, because that's a factor of supply and demand. I just feel like there should be more demand, right?
Yeah, especially in the 90s. Running backs were like the premier spot, right? You had Sanders, Smith, Thurman Thomas was up there every year, you know. Ricky Waters.
We could go down the list. I mean, I did know football really well back then. I mean, you're talking about some running backs are how you won your fantasy league. Like you won your fantasy league by getting 2 of them, right? Yes. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas, Corey Dillon. Yeah. I mean, there's some great running backs that people have completely forgot about from the late 90s.
That's a good card. That's got room to go. That's
got plenty of room to go. Dude, the PMG Reds are serial number to what? And they're selling for $3,000.
Yeah. So that's much more.
Masterpiece. Yeah,
for sure.
That's a real card right there. We've got a platinum medallion Ray Lewis, as we mentioned.
The 9 is a very high grade, as you know, for those sets.
That is a really high grade. That's a big time card right there.
He's a big time
Orlando Pace, obviously, maybe the greatest offensive lineman in history.
Ever. Yeah, and that's out of 20. That's an awesome card. It's a pop 2. That walked up to our booth at the National. It's a great looking card. I mean, again, stuff that you don't see every day is kind of how we're trying to curate this. And once in a while cards. Like, a Sanders, that's out of 33.
Who's the most collected running back from the 90s? It's got to be Barry first.
Barry and then Emmitt. But yeah, Barry for sure.
By far Barry over Emmitt, right? Just the way he did it, right? It's like comparing Vince Carter to Jason Kidd, right? Like we just liked to watch Vince Carter do it more than Kidd, Sorry, everything has to come back to basketball analogy. Right. I don't know how else to do it. Right. Jerry Rice, probably the most collected non-quarterback from the 90s. Is that fair? Would you say number 1?
Yeah, him and then Randy Moss.
Moss. Who's more collected, do you think? Who has more collectors and more demand out there, Moss or Barry Sanders? Tough. But Rice above both, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Rice above both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, I think Rice, by many people, is still considered the greatest football player that ever lived. I know Tom Brady's got all the rings and he's the GOAT and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, there's people out there that are like, Jerry Rice is the best football player that ever lived. Before him, people used to say Jim Brown. Do you remember that? I mean, we're old, right? So we remember.
I remember, but then the problem with that is you forget that Walter Payton exists, and he was the best running back of all time.
And Jim Brown's career wasn't long, so it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to be, you may say Jim Brown's peak, but it's hard to be the greatest of all time when you don't have any of the records. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I mean, it's tough.
And I mean, Red Grange probably was one of the top of all time. He was, right? And Bronco Nagurski.
Do you like to say the name Y.A. Tittle?
I giggle every time I say Y.A. Tittle. So
that's why I said it. I wanted to see you laugh. I just want to see you happy. Make sure we're having fun on the channel. And then we got an Aikman in here. Oh, that kind of reminds me of a basketball card. That's the Finest Masters version. Right. There's a die cut here too. This is awesome.
On both sides. They're an awesome looking card. That's got room too. I think that, Aikman, it's weird. He won rings in the 90s. Doesn't get that much collectability, as they say. Love in the hobby.
It's very clear why, because, you know, it's almost like, here we go. Here we go to a basketball analogy. It's like Stockton and Malone, right? So
Right.
everybody's like, Stockton wasn't that good. He had Malone. But then
Right.
when people collect, they're like, Malone wasn't that good. He had Stockton.
Right.
Like, dude, you can't fault Troy Aikman for being on the team with, you know, Jay Novacek. I'm just kidding. Emmett Smith and Michael Irvin.
They had a good. They were one of the best offensive lines ever. They had two of the best weapons ever in the '90s. But someone had to get Irvin the ball.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
well, it's not his fault that he had great weapons. I mean, that
Right.
if you go back and look at it, I'm pretty sure most quarterbacks who are elite and historically elite had great weapons. I mean, I don't remember any quarterbacks that didn't have an elite wide receiver number one.
right. No.
You know? So, all right, Josh, what else? Okay, so a reminder here. If you want to consign to Josh, call the number or hit the email address and get approved. It should not be a difficult process. Same day response, Josh? Next day, maybe?
Same day, absolutely.
Same day response. You're seeking more consignments. Right now, priority one is more consignments. That's why I'm screaming about this on my channel. This is going to get a few thousand views. We're going to try to get you a few hundred consigners. We're going to try to get some people to test you out. Do they need to do anything else besides put the card in a box and ship it to you? I'm assuming there's a form to fill out or something like that you'll send them. Tell me about this prepaid label.
So we will get you, you email us, we work out a consignment, we send you a consignment agreement on DocuSign, and we'll send you a UPS shipping label, comes to our office, and good to go. It's pretty
Josh,
simple.
how small is too small? How big is too big? That's what she said.
Nothing is too big.
Okay.
We're looking for stuff.
Go finish.
And we will we're trying to look for stuff at the level $1,000 or higher.
Okay.
500 we're not turning away, but the goal is 1,000 and higher. Make a nice tight auction with rare, hard to find items that don't come up every day that you can't find on eBay every day. Is kind of the goal.
So another thing, Josh, that I've run across, I'm gonna get us on big screen here so that people can see how pretty we are. So another thing that I've run across doing auction recaps and just kind of doing my due diligence as a card collector and a Jordan collector is sometimes you'll run across auctions where there'll be two of the same card in the auction, and I think that pulls away from each other. That's one thing that I know you and John like to focus on is to make sure there's no overlap. You want to make sure each of these consigned cards gets the attention that it deserves, and there's not another competing card that would sort of pull that attention away.
Right.
So that's one thing that's a huge benefit to a smaller auction house. Right. I don't want to call y'all a mom and pop because you're really a pop and pop.
Right.
Yeah. But again, and we said this, I've had you on the channel. You're not trying to take over the world. No. If you want to take over the world, you'd take every consignment, no matter how much it is, and you'd run a weekly auction every single week. It can be done, and you could do it.
Right.
But you guys are trying to be a little bit different. Tell the people about the schedule, how many auctions and how they work. So when their deadline would be to consign items to you for the next auction, or maybe if they're a bidder, when they can put the next auction sort of on their radar, just generally speaking.
Sure. Next auction is going to start around December 1st, and it's going to run for another 2 weeks. Okay. We've got a lot of feedback from clients, from bidders, and from consigners that the 2 weeks is a great tight schedule. 14 days is good. Anything else, people lose interest or forget about it.
Yeah.
John and I do a great job. Mostly John is really good at finding and sourcing a lot of the consignments we have. He's, works very hard. It's probably what he's doing right now, actually. So that's, it's easy. We're looking, make it simple as possible, as seamless as possible. And we run 4 auctions a year, one every quarter. So it's not saturating the market with things, but also trying to make it like an event that people look forward to. So if it's once a quarter, we know people are going to be anticipating it.
Can I consign to you a Cherry Blossom Choice Victor Wembanyama Prism draft card?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Can I just give it to you?
Yes. Okay. I don't know what is that like a cherry blossom,
that is actually a parallel from Prism. Cherry Blossom Choice. And it's pink with little flower petals on it. And it's sold for 10 grand.
No way.
Yes, dude. You need to open up your eyes, get out of the 90s for a second. Go look at the crazy crap that's selling in the year 2024. We sound like old get off my lawn dudes, but dude, it's crazy, Josh. Some of the stuff that I'm seeing, zebra print. Who is that? Is that Hal coming back?
Yeah.
How would you describe John to the people that have never met him and the viewers? When I think of John, I think of a bounty hunter. Like a real bounty hunter, or maybe like a private security undercover private security that you don't want to really mess with him. I know that.
Well, he's a great friend and he's a great person to go into business with. We met each other through trading cards and we thought of this idea together. And I couldn't ask for a better partner. It's, we each have good assets and good character attributes that feed off each other. He's got much more patience than I do, if that makes any sense, which I try to work on that.
He talks less than both of us, for sure. He thinks before he speaks. Let's put it that way. Unlike
all
us.
the time. All the time. I love that about him.
And I was describing his physical prowess, his physical characteristics. His arms make me very jealous. He's the person, like, if we're going, no offense, Josh, but if I'm in a dark alley and something goes down, I don't really need you. You don't really bring much to the table.
No.
John will handle everything on his own. So if you send your cards into 90s auctions, trust me, they're safe.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a dark alley, I'm running the other way. But yes, no, absolutely. No, he's a very good influence in terms of keeping in shape and exercising too, which is
he just makes fun of you, and he'll just harass you and make fun of you for your physical appearance because he's elite. He's an elite specimen. So John and Josh, 90sauctions.com. We're going to try to do these, Josh, every auction. So if December 1's when yours is running, then plan on let's doing another one of these around December 10th. Here's the thing. I want to do this for Josh and John and 90s auctions every quarter to make sure we bring awareness and eyeballs and the new consignments in. Guys, I'm sorry to interject, but there is one thing that I forgot to mention. 90sauctions.com, Josh and John are working hand in hand through an affiliate relationship with Ship My Cards, Brian Wells. So if you guys are international and you're trying to get your cards into one of these quarterly 90sauctions.com, Ship My Cards is the way to go about that. If you have any more questions about that, don't message me. Message Josh through the email or catch Josh or John on Instagram at 90s Auctions, and they'll kind of point you in the right direction. But Ship My Cards is sort of the receiving repository where you international shippers can send your stuff, they'll receive it, and then they'll make sure that it gets safely to Josh and John. If you register with 90sauctions.com and you haven't yet, I'm not getting paid for this, but I want you to tell Josh that Cajun Cardboard sent you. So I want you to tell him.
Please.
So we know this is working. So we know it's not a waste of his time and my time. If you're going to consign items, same thing. Just tell them, hey, I saw you on the Cajun Cardboard channel. I want to give it a shot. I want to consign some items. Or, hey, I saw it on the Cajun Cardboard channel. I want to bid on some items. Get me approved. I want to get in there. I want to get the cut above. I want to get the hot shots. I want to get that Team Skybox. Maybe we found a buyer for the Team Skybox today.
Possible. I think
you got to come strong on that one. That is a very valuable card. That's a really, really big tier 1 Jordan serial number to 50 card.
Monster. Yeah. No, I think it's a great boon for our auction that this came in. I think it gives us a lot more legitimacy, and it's something we can handle, and we can handle the big boys.
Josh, anything else that the people need to know? Anything practical that we're forgetting? I'm sorry, I'm not great at this. I mean, I love looking at the cards. I can talk about cards all day long, but I want to make sure that people know they can reach you on Instagram. Let's do that again. I probably should have had that pulled up, but you're at Midwest Vintage Cards, or aren't you also at 90s?
Yeah, 90s Auctions. John and I both have access to it. So if you can't get me, he'll be there. If he's not there, I'm there, and that's the fastest way. And then the phone number is the best too.
Phone number at 90s Auctions on Instagram. Email Josh at 90sauctions.com. Chicago Sports Card Gems is John's private Instagram. So make sure you go follow these guys out there. What about Facebook? Do you have a Facebook presence as well?
We have a Facebook account that John monitors that. It's 90s Auctions, Facebook /90s Auctions. I don't do a lot of the Facebook.
I don't either.
I know.
I used to be only Facebook, and then I feel like we graduate. Instagram seems to be more efficient for what I'm doing personally. Right. Facebook still has tremendous value, right, with the groups and stuff like that. You can learn a lot and find cards as well. But Instagram just seems to move a little quicker, and I'm just more comfortable with the interface. You find that as well?
I love Instagram. I think it's much easier to use than Facebook, but maybe that's telling on our ages. But
that's right. All right. Anything else, Josh?
Just, register and bid. We're done on Sunday at 9:00 Central is when extended bidding starts. And any questions, contact us. Happy to help out.
That's it. This Sunday, September 15th. Remember, as of right now, it's closed extended bidding. You've got to get a basic bid in during this window before 9 p.m. this Sunday night, 9 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
9 p.m. Central time. That's Chicago. That's Baton Rouge. We're basically in the same. It's basically the same. Chicago and Baton Rouge are basically It's like the same city. We're like the Chicago of the South.
Well, we had an alligator here a few years ago in one of our ponds. We called him Chance the Snapper. It was a big deal. Yeah.
Well, I saw 11 alligators on the way to work today. So that's the difference between Chicago.
I would burn my house down and move. I'd be so scared.
So last night, listen to this. So last night, through our front window, there's a baby fox just hanging out in my landscaping in my front yard. In my backyard, at the exact same time, there's a raccoon that's perched up on the window looking into my den. Does it surprise you that I live amongst wildlife the way that Cajuns kind of are?
I'm surprised, but I've been to Louisiana a couple of times, and it's pretty cool down there. But
great place to visit. You don't want to stay.
Yes.
That's right.
No,
That's right. Well, I'm one of the few Louisianians that did not shoot the fox or the raccoon with like a crossbow or something, right? Because everybody down here likes to hunt animals and kill animals, and I'm like, they're kind of cute. Let's let them go. Go back to your home. We've digressed a little bit. 90sauctions.com, Josh and John, you've got all the information you need to reach them. Comment below. Josh will be checking these comments, and I'll check the comments. Comment below if you've got any questions, or I did a bad job of forgetting to mention anything or steer people the right way to do the right thing. If you got any questions in the comments, let us know. If any of these cards that are being consigned, let us know that you appreciate us doing these preview videos. Yeah. And if you're thinking about bidding on one now because you watched the video, let us know that in the comment too. So at least Josh can know, well, look, we got some value out of these videos, and maybe we'll keep doing these in the near future. Josh, anything else? Go back to work, man. You got multiple jobs just like I do. We got to go back to work.
I know people are calling me. I'm just hitting the get the voicemail. It's okay. Yeah. They'll wait. Yeah. My guys aren't going anywhere.
Your guys are not going anywhere. We're both wearing collared shirts. That's rare. Yes. For me. For you, you've got a real job. For me, it's like if I'm wearing a collared shirt, that means I'm doing this video in the middle of my real job, the way I feed my family, right?
Right.
So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. 90sauctions.com. Thank you, Josh, for coming on the channel. We'll do it again for sure. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.